What's up, you guys? Stoopzz back in with another tutorial video. And in this video, we are continuing off my last video where we were discussing the idea of positioning. And this will be another short video where I discuss the idea of movement. Now, in that last video, we were talking about how positioning can be a result, or bad positioning can be a result of movement. And I want to give you guys a sense of how I move, how I use my mouse, my key bindings, my keyboard, and it'll give you a sense of how important movement really is when fighting inside the World of Warcraft arena. Now, for the sake of this video, I'm going to have a secondary camera here so you guys can kind of see my keyboard, my mouse, and hopefully it'll give you a better idea of how I move and how important it really is to use movement when it comes to World of Warcraft. Now, I do have a key binding video on my channel that I'll link in the description box below, and that will give you a better sense of how I key bind my keyboard. But again, I currently move with Q, W, and E, and I also use my mouse. That means I have A, S, and D unbound, and in my key binding and macro video, I discussed that A, S, and D is how I target the enemy, how I sap the enemy, how I CC the enemy, and those are the keys that I use for all my main abilities for the enemy team. But again, I use Q, W, and E to move, and I also steer with my mouse. Now, Q and E are one of the most important key bindings for strafing, in my opinion, and Q and E allow you to move at the same movement speed, that being strafing, when compared to moving forward with your W key. Now, if you move forward with your W key, you're moving at full speed, and if you move with Q and E, it's still full speed. However, Q and E allows you to strafe, moving at a different angle. Now, the reason why Q and E are so important is it allows you to kind of use your left click. So this click right here on the screen, hopefully you guys can see that. You can spin your camera, and this is standard, and you can move with your Q key and your E key, and you can kind of turn your camera while moving in the same direction. Now, a lot of people, when it comes to World of Warcraft, they either move straight or they run straight and they don't look behind them. Now, let's say, for example, this, oh my God, a fucking warrior is coming in here, level 66. What is he doing in here? Okay, okay, he's dead. Okay. Now, let's say I'm playing like a normal player would, and I have this demon hunter beating on me, and I'm just running forward. Okay, so I'm getting pounded on by this demon hunter, and I'm moving straight, and I'm not using my Q key, and I'm not turning my camera. You can't really see this paladin coming in to Hajj me unless they get right behind me. So the paladin goes for a Hajj. It was hard to see them incoming, and I couldn't predict anything that was going to happen because I was always looking forward. Now, this is one of the biggest mistakes that happens to players, is that they're always looking forward. They're never turning their camera, using their Q key to strafe right here on my keyboard, and then turning their camera to see what's happening. Again, you're moving at full speed, but you're always moving while looking behind you, and you never get in the position where you don't see what's incoming. This happens to a lot of players when they fight RMP, any rogue mage team, any team with massive CC, fears. You don't see what's happening because you're always looking forward. So it's really important to use your Q, W, and E key, especially your strafe key, while turning your camera, and you can either use your right click to completely turn your character or your left click just to turn your camera. So if you want to turn your camera, you can use your left click, and if you want to turn your whole character, you can use your right click. But again, I rarely ever use my W key. It's always all about my Q key and my E key, and I just use my mouse to control the direction of my character. And you can see here that I'm using my right key to turn my character, but I'm moving with Q or E. So I'm strafing, but I'm almost manipulating it to where I'm moving forward. Now I'm going to show you an example of me using my normal movement, and the paladin will come after me while this demon hunter is beating on me. You can see I'm moving away, but I'm turning my camera, and you can see that the paladin is chasing after me. He can come for a Hajj, but I can just sap off, and I see what's incoming because I'm turning my camera towards the enemy at all times. I'm never running like this. I'm always running like this, and you can keep moving, but I always have an idea of what's happening, and I can keep seeing what's happening to me because I'm always looking at the enemy while moving full speed using my Q key rather than my W key. Now, another thing I want to talk about is pre-planning your movements. A lot of players will not pre-plan their movements. They run all over the map. They don't pre-plan anything out, and it will lead you to lining your allies, putting yourself in awkward positions, and again, poor movement results in poor positioning. A lot of players at high rated probably have good instincts, so they know where they're moving naturally, but again, if you're working your way up the arena ladder, try and have an idea of where you're going to run, where you're trying to go, and don't just run like a Mongo trying to survive and line your allies the whole time, which is, again, something that we talked about in our positioning video. So it's really important that you guys really try to line up your movement. You make sure that you're looking behind you at all times. You zoom out your camera so you can see what's happening behind you, and you always move, in my opinion, with your Q or your E key binding or whatever you have designed for strafe. That way, you always see what's happening. I'm always turning my camera behind me. I'm never not turning my camera. I'm never looking straight like this, because this way I have no idea what's going to happen to me right now. I don't know how close they are, how far they are, but if I'm turning this way, then I know how much distance I have. I know if I can get away. I'm pre-planning out my movements. They're not sporadic. So again, if you guys are interested in my movement keys, if you're interested in my macros, how I macro my key bindings, what keys I use for movement. All of that can be found in the description box below, and that will give you a better understanding of why I choose to macro certain keys and how I currently move in World of Warcraft. So again, I know that was a short video, but I think it will give you guys a better understanding of how you're supposed to move in World of Warcraft. That is the idea of these videos. My goal is to make small and easy videos that will give you guys the necessary tips, tools, and information that you will need when you're trying to push raiding in World of Warcraft or just trying to explore PvP in general. So again, be sure to check out those 2 videos in the description box below. And after watching those videos and this video, I think you guys will have a better sense of how important movement is when it comes to World of Warcraft PvP. But that's the end of this video, you guys. I hope you enjoyed it. If you did, be sure to give the video a thumbs up. If you have any more questions regarding movement or key bindings or anything in general, you can leave them in the comment section below and I'll get back to you guys right away. Try not to miss me on my YouTube live stream. I answer all of your guys' questions in depth. Do not forget to subscribe, and I'll see you guys next time.